when winter was just kicking in during our college's winter break. The air had turned crisp, with that sharp, icy edge that makes your breath fog up in front of you. Most of my free time went to hustling on DoorDash to earn some quick cash. Nothing fancy, just enough to cover gas, groceries, and maybe a coffee or two. Earlier that day, I'd done a few hours, zipping through the usual suburban sprawl, dropping off tacos and milkshakes to families settling in for the night. But later, as the clock ticked toward evening, I was sprawled on my beat-up couch, scrolling through my phone, boredom gnawing at me like a restless itch. So I decided to fire up the app again and head out for a few more orders. It was about 9 p.m. when I picked up a large order, 2 full bags of food, heavy with the weight of what smelled like burgers, fries, and maybe some pasta. The savory aroma filled my car as I punched the address into my GPS and pulled out of the restaurant's parking lot. The destination was in a neighborhood I'd never visited before, somewhere on the edge of town where the streetlights grew, sparse. The GPS led me through a maze of suburban streets, past rows of normal houses with warm, glowing windows and inflatable Santas still lingering from Christmas. But as I followed the route, the road began to twist and wind, growing narrower with every turn. The houses started to space out, replaced by thick clusters of bare trees, their skeletal branches clawing at the night sky. My headlights barely cut through the darkness, and a faint unease settled in my chest. This place felt off, like it was keeping secrets. I reached the back of the neighborhood, where the pavement seemed to vanish into a dead end shrouded in shadows. The GPS, though, kept urging me forward, its robotic voice insisting I go straight ahead. I eased off the gas, my eyes scanning the darkness, when my headlights caught something. A small wooden gate, its weathered planks etched with faded numbers. I leaned forward, squinting to confirm. They matched the delivery address exactly. My stomach did a little flip. None of the other houses had gates. They were all just lined up along the street, open and accessible. This one, though, was hidden, tucked down what looked like a long private driveway. I hesitated, my fingers drumming on the steering wheel. Something about it felt wrong, but I had a job to do, and the app wasn't going to pay me if I bailed. Now. I parked, stepped out into the biting cold, and approached the gate. The air smelled of pine and damp earth, and my sneakers crunched on the frosty ground. The gate had no lock, no chain, just a rusty hinge that groaned as I pushed it open. It swung wide with a reluctant creak, like it hadn't been touched in ages. I got back in my car, the heater blasting warm air against my chilled hands, and drove down the wide gravel road. The stones popped and crunched under my tires, the sound unnervingly loud in the quiet night. Trees pressed in on both sides, their branches forming a tunnel that seemed to swallow my headlights. I couldn't shake the feeling I was heading somewhere I wasn't meant to be, like I'd crossed an invisible line.